This completely undermines public trust. The evidence is glaring. The discrepancies between government notice number 5726 and the so-called corrected notice of 5803 reveal a disturbing level of negligence that borders on economic subversion. Firstly, there was a schoolboy error. In the initial notice, the Treasury copy-pasted the total revenue figure from a total recurrent expenditure slowed down to the very last cent, 3.36 plus trillion. In effect, they claimed that the government spent exactly what it earned, completely ignoring development expenditure. This is not a minor oversight, it is a display of carelessness. Secondly, there is what is called a vanishing department. In the first notice, there is a department called Department of Performance and Delivery, which was allocated over 129 million shillings. In the first notice. In the corrected version, this department suddenly disappears and doesn't exist anymore. What we are witnessing here is the manual erasure of so-called ghost expenditure. Third, we are presented with an impossible fluctuations overnight. The Teacher Service Commission exchequer issues reportedly increased by 295 billion, and the Ministry of Defense gained another 123 billion. They point to either a systematic failure within the infamous system, or worse, a desperate attempt to reconcile funds that have been disbursed without proper documentation. One other I would like to raise that is glaring, the State House budget all of a sudden rose from a figure of 529 in the previous statement, in the previous Gazette notice, to a figure of 12 trillion in the second notice, 12 billion. 500 million to 12 billion, an increase of something like 11 billion shillings. But the most glaring indictment is what I call the 150 billion black box. Most concerned in the statements, and it's in both of them, is a revelation that 150.7 billion is sitting in what is called a sovereign bond proceeds account. According to Article 206 of our Constitution, every shilling borrowed in the name of the people must be deposited in the consolidated fund. By keeping this money off the official books in a separate account, the Treasury is bypassing the controller of budget, removing her oversight role, is blinding the Auditor General and creating a shadow account, and is evading parliamentary scrutiny by treating public debt as if it was a private slush fund. The government claims it faces a liquidity crisis, while 150 billion sits in some shadow account with no public record of a formal Eurobond issuance this quarter. Where did that money come from? 150 billion shillings. Or is it just a figure to plug some loophole, some loss, some theft somewhere? We demand, as wonderful law-abiding Kenyans, that the National Treasury must operate above the law. We demand the following from the CS John Bandi. Number one, disclose the exact account holding the 150.7 billion, as stated in your Gazette notice. Which account is this that Kenyans do not, that Parliament did? What money is in billion doing domicile a bank statement that we know nothing? Open the publish certified account of inception March. Follow the interest. Account for every cent of interest earned on these billions while they remained outside the consolidated fund. Where is this account? Is it earning interest? Including identifying who is benefiting from this interest. Immediately freeze. That means instruct the controller of budget and the Auditor General to freeze this account immediately, until it is brought under legal compliance. Kenyans bear the weight of public debt, and we will not allow the proceeds of debt to be hidden in some financial black box. We deserve a precise balance sheet, not vague approximations, leaving billions unaccounted for. The era of shadow banking and misrepresentation of our statement of accounts by the Treasury must come to an end. Asanteni sana. Any questions? No questions? Any clarifications? You are satisfied? We have just, in summary, articulated a total misrepresentation of our bank statements. This country is going through what you call malfeasance and lies. Malfeasance and lies. Everybody, it seems, under this regime of William Ruto is just plainly lying. They lie with figures, they lie with speech. They are now lying on our bank statements, and they've been doing it for a while. This time they have been caught. And when they were caught, they tried to correct their mistake. When they tried to correct their mistake, they left something dangling. 150 billion outside our main bank account. That they cannot explain. They call it a sovereign bond account. A sovereign bond account. I don't know whether any of you members of the press know of a bond that we have gone out on the market for. That is over $1 billion. Whether we have gone on the market to secure a euro bond or such bonds, that we know nothing of. So something is clearly wrong in the Treasury. They seem to be feeling a problem, and we know the problem. The problem is they don't have money. The problem is the Treasury is dry. All the indicators are showing it. And that problem is clearly coming to bear. So now we are going through what is called false accounting. False accounting. False mispresentation of facts. I'm sorry, Mr. William Ruto, it is coming to an end sooner than you expected. Asanteni sana.